supposed to be. It's simply not supposed to be. You don't call another
Hello?
candidate.
Yes. So yeah.
Hi. So I'm actually in the middle of a wedding, but I just want to come on and clarify a few statements. No one has, my campaign has contacted you or spoke to you because after your statements yesterday, I was concerned about that. So I went and nobody in my campaign contacted you. And the number you put out is actually another employee's number that you put out and who has been getting threats and who had to cancel her line. In addition to that, when I did speak to my parents, at the conversation, no one threatened you. And because of that, we are pursuing legal against you for slander and for going on every show and talking. And this is the reason why the Democratic Party limits who's even has access to the debates and to the conversation, just because of slanderous nature of it. And for Alvin Dowling to call the Republican um, some kind of Republican blogger to insert themselves in a Democratic primary where the Republicans have been systematically trying to suppress Democrats. It's disgusting. And it's something that the party is not looking to deal with. But I thank you so much for letting me come on. And I just want to say one thing, attacking.
No, you can just come on
But you need.
then run. You just can come on and then
So
run.
thank you so much for having
No,
Sheila,
that is wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, one question, Sheila, before you go. So the employee is your employee, and your parents are your parents did admit that they could speak to Mr. Morale. Is that correct?
Yes, they did, but there was no threats, and there were multiple people who they said were there, and that was upon a conversation where all the pastors were there, and they said, someone should talk to Morel, and I was very clear at that event and said that. But I'm not going to argue because the nature of it is what it is, and for you to make those slanderous remarks during an election that has a negative impact. Which no factual basis of even being a threat. I think you should really look at the legal definition before you do that to public figures. And you have Elvin who goes around doing all these things. People get hurt, and doing those things to honest people shouldn't be allowed. And so we will be contacting you about these kind of decisions and these kind of thoughts. But we don't run campaigns like that, and we're respectable people. I just want to come on.
Okay, no, just can I? So just for clarification, sorry, Ms. Martin. So just for clarification, so the number did belong to somebody that's part of your campaign, right?
No. That is somebody. That's what I said. No one from my campaign ever contacted Morel, ever had a conversation. That number belongs to one of the numbers for our private businesses because we have phones for all of our nurses and everybody on staff. So that number, it came up as Trinity also. So giving out that number without the factual, or even having a conversation and doing it in public with someone like Elvin Dowling, who's giving out that number.
Your mother saying she was not in the background talking.
Like I said,
no, we just wanted to clarify. So the numbers belong to one of your offices, but it wasn't a member of your campaign. So it's a business number, but not your campaign.
Correct.
And then the conversation about with your parents. There was a conversation, but there were no threats made in that conversation, and there were other witnesses who are pastors that witnessed the conversation that was between your father or your parents and Mr. Morel. And then and also just for clarification, that conversation did not come from the phone number that Mr. Morel is talking about.
No, that number, it came from it, but it wasn't. It didn't belong. He said that someone called, said it was my father. That's not my father's telephone number. That is one of the company phones, but it belongs to a woman. And so when you put that out there, that woman started getting all these phone calls because there are other people named Elvin Dowling who put that number everywhere. And so when we're running a campaign, there are real lives that are attached that I don't think people realize. And doing all these things doesn't make you win the election, but it hurts people. So we just need to be honest So I just want to come in and say that. And thank you guys for the opportunity. And, we'll just play it out where it needs to be played out in court. Thank you so much. Bye.
Again, as a former federal investigator, I'm going to say this because I'm not one to bite my tongue. This woman, this is for the first time I'm saying it. This woman is lying. She's a liar. She just lied.